7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Step into the ring where the lights burn bright. Thursday night, we ignite. It's a heavyweight fight. Still steps, no fear. We go deep, we go raw. Talking truths, other parts won't touch, breaking the law. Still steps, we taking it higher. Real talk, no chill, spitting fire. All locked in it, we bring the heat. Every Thursday night, we can't be beat. We can't be beat. We can't be beat.
What is good, everyone? It is your boy Politicking Hot alongside my guy, Mr. Moyofit Chris Wilson. We are Still Steps coming to you live on a beautiful Thursday evening, courtesy of All the Talk Sports Network. Mr. Moyofit, how you doing this evening, sir?
We back, baby. 2-man power trip is here. We doing what we do. Still Steps to represent us. It's a good day to be alive, baby.
Absolutely. Good day to talk that turnbuckle talk. You know what? In the world of professional wrestling, I feel like we're in a pretty decent space right now. And, you know, there's so much that we could dive into tonight, especially prior to us, you know, coming on live. And, you know, I just asked, you know, what's been like catching your eye in pro wrestling? So, you know, I think, you know, that's something I'd like to, you know, like pick your brain on as far as like what's been like catching your eye in the world of professional wrestling nowadays, and, you know, do the same thing. But there was something that did cross my mind earlier today while I was working, and I was just, you know, I was kind of going back watching, you know, this past week's pro wrestling programs, and like I'll be honest, like everything was pretty good this week. Like everything was pretty good across the board. Like even going as far as back to like Friday Night SmackDown. You know, we had the clash in Italy on Sunday. Raw, you know, still in Italy on Monday, and then we had a pretty solid episode of AEW Dynamite, which was pretty good yesterday night. Man, definitely, you know, want to you know, chop it up about that in a few. But I say all of this to say that I don't know, something's different in the internet wrestling community. Like the actual pro wrestling community is good. Like our wrestling programming is good, but I don't know if you're catching this vibe, but ever since we had that whole WWE fiasco where they were kicking all the content creators content off as far as like, you know, any of the WWE related programming, I don't know, it just seemed like something in the internet wrestling community has changed. And I don't know if I want to selfishly say that this is for the better, because like I'm not saying that I lean on a lot of the content. I mean, I hope people, you know, continue to listen to take in our content. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, like something's different, and I kind of like it. like it's like a lot of things isn't like oversaturated right now. But I just need to know, because like this is something that, you know, I hadn't had ask any of y'all on the side. I was tempted to put it in our group chat, but I said, you know what, let's say, you know, save this for the show. But Mr. Moyofit, to you, like pro wrestling is great right now across all the major promotions, but the internet wrestling community, something feels different. Do you agree with that?
I'm 50-50 on it. I think it's still the same, but it's always been, especially last, I say, 4.5 to 5 years is very saturated with content, because not only for just like fans or people who are, you know, sports journalists, like former like active wrestlers have now started their own content and podcasts and stuff like that. So now the market is flooded. Like this, like everybody's doing it now. So especially because the former wrestlers or like no longer 100% active, they see as another source of income or making their name still relevant in the business to where it keeps them having work and stuff like that. So when it comes super saturated like that, is like a lot of people, there's no authenticity or like exclusiveness going on. You know, it's like this, like
Right.
now because everybody knows now. Like so, it's like you said, the work's been stepped on a bunch of times. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, like this is not pure no more. The work's been stepped on a bunch of times.
Good analogy, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so now on the content aspect of it, is like before when it was a big deal to get this exclusive or this breaking story, or you're hearing the rumbles of this, is not that big of a deal anymore. So therefore, a lot of the bigger promotions and stuff like that, they might not be so, open door like they were before of giving out, low key stories and blah blah blah, because they do want some, like, all right, we want to hold off. We don't want this to be out there just yet, because you have a lot of content creators, to be real, they're kind of very greedy and selfish to where they don't care. They want to be the first person to break that news and stories so they can get more eyes on their product. So for that, I think a lot of wrestling promotions are just like, you know what, we not rocking with y'all like that. So it's like, so it's weird. So I still think that's because people still have their sources, and it seems like these promotions have their go-to people. It's like, right. Yeah, so whoever their go-to content people is, or sports journalist people is, they deal only with them, and everybody else, you're still steps of the world who's coming up and trying to be out there and who generally love what they do. They're kind of like, no, we're gonna we'll wait. You know what I mean? Like, so right. It's weird.
And I see what you're saying there. And see, that's where I feel like, is there a ceiling now? Because like when you talk about those who have the sources, so like that's going to always be like the Fightful, the PW Insiders, like the Mike Johnsons, or any of those individuals. Now, I definitely have seen a reduce of the reaction videos. Like, remember, there was always a handful of reaction videos that you could easily just find, whether you like scrolling through your Instagram or your TikToks or Twitter, wherever those respective influencers were filming on. But like, you barely see any of those now.
Like used to. Even we cut down on them, whether it's scheduling, for our personal life stuff going on. But it's also,
I think that's different. I'm talking about like those that's like the faithful creators within the IWC who was doing reaction videos, like like constantly, like for all the WWE PLEs, or even for Raw and SmackDown, like unless they got a great following, which there's a great amount of them that does, but for some reason, like maybe this is my algorithm, like it's not popping up like it used to.
Yeah, and then honestly, my thought process on that is, because go back to what I just said, it's watered down, because if you got 20 content creators all doing live reaction videos to the same exact event, it's like, what is going to be different, what they saying compared to the next person when they all said the same thing? Because for the most part, even though we all like have different views and mindsets on how the way stuff is done creatively and who our personal preferences and favors in wrestling, a lot of us all have kind of the same mindset when it comes to pro wrestling. We really do. So it's like, what are you saying so different from these other 15 people that saw what I just saw? Right. So it's basically rinse and repeat. So it's like, do I need a reaction video to this event that we just saw? And then on top of that, a lot of these events are happening back to back to back. So that just becomes a lot to do. And is it worth the time of doing an hour, 2 hour reaction video Saturday, well, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, stuff like Monday? Think about it. Monday, Tuesday, you got WWE from Monday Night Raw, NXT, and Dynamite. What's name? Then you have Collision. Then you have SmackDown. What's name? What's name? If you then you have normally a PLE mixed in with that because it seems like it's one every other week between a PLE of WWE, a pay per view for AEW, and then now you got throwing in TNA, AAA, like this, like is so much content for shows going on. You're gonna do a live reaction to every single one of them shows. It can get overload to where it's like, you know what? I just had enough. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? I just had I watch it. I don't need to do a live reaction or watch a live reaction of what I just saw. Like I know what I saw already.
Yeah. And again, like there were a great amount of people that were doing it. Now, I'm assuming because of the circumstances that they're now under is probably why they're not doing it, or you know, but I kind of want to like just kind of like go back to to that initial event. Like, what really transpired for WWE to want to silence like the internet wrestling community? Do you have any info on that by any chance?
No, I don't have any info, so this is strictly an assumption. But usually this happens a lot, not just in pro wrestling, but other sports stuff too.
Right.
People tend to find out things that they not supposed to. Like this. It's a certain stuff we're willing to put out to the media and content creators, but it's some stuff that is not supposed to get out there. And there's always somewhere between somewhere. I don't know how, but there's loss in translation of when you tell people this stays in house, but so it gets to the first three people, but that fourth person like I ain't hear nothing. Right. I ain't hear he ain't say nothing to me, and information gets out there, and these content creators and sports people, journalists, and all that get it. So I think they're just like, you know what? I feel like, and honestly, too, everything comes down to money. I think WWE is in their corporate greed as always. It's like we don't want to put out information that we could put out for ourselves and get money off of it.
Yeah,
this is content we could put out on Netflix. This is content we could put out on Peacock for the behind the scenes, the Unreal and the documentaries and stuff like that. Like we want to put this stuff out ourselves. We don't want you guys to put this stuff out before we can. Right.
In a way, my fault. What you said?
No, I'm sure it's some capital thing about that.
Yeah. Oh no, most definitely. In hindsight, they're able to control their narrative. I mean, they always have had the ability to do so, but kind of like putting the caboose on as far as like the copywritten stuff that some content creators were creating or generating. Like they're like, no, like y'all not eating off our plates anymore. Like no more. And it's still messed up. and that's why like it's crazy. And I've definitely seen a good amount of creators that are now doing the reaction videos for AEW. But it's just like ever since that episode that took place with them like shutting down a lot of the Instagram profiles, like there's a great deal of creators that was out here like in this IWC that haven't really bounced back from that.
No, yeah, for sure. Because like I said, the people the people I typically see, content creators wise, who I follow, obviously, do the pro wrestling stuff like we do, though, and they're way higher up than we are. They're constantly doing interviews with these higher name, well-known name, athletes, men or women. So it's like because they've been doing it a lot longer than us too. So so you see like what they do, but then I also see like they generally now just stick to either interviews like this with like one-on-one or interviews or Skype type like FaceTime interviews, but they don't but the reaction videos or like even the prediction videos. They don't even like do the prediction videos anymore like they used to.
Right.
Like the upcoming events, they used to do live prediction videos. They think this person's going to do this and this, who's going to win this, who's going to win. They don't even do that anymore.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
So not only the live reaction aftermath stuff, but the the pre-show predictions, all that, they're not even doing that as much anymore. I think eventually it's something going on to where they just see that the algorithm and the cause and the effect and all that stuff is just not what it used to be. And once again, that's probably a part of the market being flooded.
Yeah, I was about to say that, and also too, I was gonna say it's almost like a silent protest per se, like for those that's not doing it anymore since WWE put a halt to them and their content for their profiles. So like maybe like that's also probably like a big deal in a sense as well. But like, yeah, no, it crossed my mind. Like I thought honestly, I thought about it around Clash in Italy time, and like, you know, as I would like browse Twitter or Instagram while the show is in progress. Like I just didn't really see a lot of people that were like doing like the watch parties or the reactions, and I'm like, damn, like the WWE like really shut this down. Like, you know, I did see about a handful that were doing it for Double or Nothing, but yeah, it just seemed like in a sense like for WWE, like it looked like they really like chopped that. Like
they done that ever since pretty much WrestleMania season.
Right.
They shut down a lot of those watch parties, a lot of those, which I know a lot of venues like who are hosting these parties. I know they were pissed because that's money, revenue for them, for those people coming to those live watch parties, because they're buying food, they're buying drink after drink after drink. You know what I'm saying? They're buying merch because these are like tourists. These are people out of town.
Right.
So they're willing to, they're living and relishing in this moment. But they shut down. I told you I follow content creator guys. I follow, watch religiously. They're from across the pond in the UK, because UK's wrestling scene is huge. They were saying how they was doing a live event, pretty much a WrestleMania watch party, and they got told, because they're a more well-known name, WWE reached out to them, told them no, can't do the watch party, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, so his name. So they couldn't show WrestleMania, but they could show Monday Night Raw.
Right.
Because it's gonna Monday Night Raw, you're not paying for that. That's on a local cable network. But WWE PLE, they was like, nah, you're not going to all going. I'm like, yo, come on, man. It's like, these are people who love your product, who support you, who give you free advertisement, pretty much.
Right. Exactly. I wish they would try chop our shit. Like,
yeah, think how much they talk about when WrestleMania is coming up. Think how much every day, 5 days a week, maybe sometimes 6, depending on how they do their stuff. 6 days a week, they're building up, talking about WrestleMania from January, because think right after Royal Rumble, thinking from January all the way to April, 5 to 6 days a week, they're building up and talking about the show you're having. This is publicity, free publicity after free publicity.
Shit, we did it. we did it for 40. Look, we did it for the press conference that took place in Vegas. We did a whole pre-show, and we did a whole post-show, you know, as far as like the entire week. Like
that's what I'm saying. And then it's like, it's crazy, bro. Then it's like you're shutting these people down.
Right.
Then
not for nothing, they use my likeness in a commercial. My paid for likeness.
Yeah, bro. Where my check at, bro?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I need one for WWE and On Location for that one.
Yeah, tell them, yo, I need a check. My name is copyrighted.
Exactly. I you know what? Now that I think about that, I wish I had on something that actually did say politicking on there. I'd have been like, oh no, run me my money. Run me my money. Shoot.
None in this world for free.
Right. But no, like, yeah, that I mean, kind of like going into like the catching your eye, like that actually did catch my eye. Like I'm like, damn, like I ain't see a reaction video in a minute, you know, ever since that whole little fiasco took place. So I wasn't sure, you know, I mean, you know, everybody's algorithm is different, so I wasn't sure if, you know, that might have been like the same way, like on your end. And I was very curious, you know, I wish Joey was on, you know, kind of, you know, to get his perspective on that as well, like to see if he, you know, sees it that way. But, you know, to those that's been watching, like, do y'all even feel that way? Like, do y'all feel like the WWE has silenced the internet wrestling community ever since the ban of like content creators creating watch-alongs and the reactions? Like, you know, just, you know, curious to, you know, drop a comment below. So post that. But yeah, so all right, let's jump into, you know, start shooting the shit, because we definitely got a lot to discuss. It's been a pretty insane week of wrestling, going back to this past Sunday with Clash in Italy. Overall, I thought this was a pretty decent show. You know, it's pretty quick. Like, I love the afternoon PLEs. I'm sorry.
For sure.
Me sure. And, you know, in our age, like, listen,
for sure,
more afternoon PLEs than WWE. Like, I love those. Y'all can even do that here in the States. Like,
for
even,
sure.
You know, it could be a show in Philly. Let that thing start at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Why does it got to start at 7? Why got to start at 6 or 7? Like, why? Like,
or 8. Yeah. like, no. I love the afternoon PLEs, you know, like it just feel good. I just wish this was on a Saturday, so that way, like, I didn't have to worry about having to go to work the next day. But it was like one of those, like by the time you get to the evening hours, you like, oh shit, it's Sunday evening. It's Monday approaching, like back, you know what I mean, back to the grind. But no, like it was cool though. You're still allowed to have the you know, the rest of your afternoon or evening, you know, to have. But if you had to rate this from 1 to 10, what would you give this PLE?
I'd give it a not bad, probably 7.5, 8.
7.5, 8.
Yeah.
Now my follow-up question is, what's preventing it to be a 9 or 10?
I don't. All right, two things. Number one, I have no idea where they're going with Fatu. I see the bloodline thing, but like that didn't need to happen. Like unless there's a future thing down the road for Fatu that I would assume that's what's happening. But if it doesn't, I legit have no idea what they're doing with him in this aspect. It's like they're redoing the bloodline thing again, and Solo once again. I was like, all right, the bloodline thing was amazing for that 4-year one. Whenever they try to redo something again in wrestling, period, it typically doesn't work out. It's nothing like the authentic original. It just don't. Right. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it's just like, yeah. So I wonder where it's going to be at. Other than that, it was cool. And honestly too, I know what they're doing eventually for SummerSlam, but Brock and Oba, I hated that. I knew they was gonna have Brock win. I hated it. Don't do that shit. We don't need a rubber match. We don't. If they was gonna run it back, Oba should have smashed his ass again. Pause. He should have. Why we gotta do a rubber match so Brock can retire in Minneapolis and SummerSlam? Because you know that's where they're going with this. Right. Like, don't do that. You just created a whole dominant babyface monster. Capitalize on that. We don't need him to lose. And I don't care if he attacked him and before the bell rang. I don't care. I hated it. I don't like it. It's just like, if anything, he should be Brock faster to solidify he is truly the monster, like the next guy. Right. But so between that Oba thing and that Fatu thing, that's the only reason why it's not a 9-10. Other than that, shout out to Jade and Rhea. To me, that was my match of the night. What's name? Everybody talks shit about Jade. That was a great. But I told you, Jade has really, really good matches for people who can match her as far as strength and all that stuff. That's what she has her best matches with. Usually the big person against the little person, smaller person are the great matches. Right. It's not like that with Jade for some reason. She needs somebody who could be like just like her, like mirror match. like her size, athleticism, strength, all that. So when she does a Rhea, Charlotte, stuff like that, Nia, they usually works out. Like she actually has pretty decent matches. Usually when she has somebody smaller and like more athletic and moving around, those matches come off weird and awkward. What's his name? But that match was great. Glad Soul Ruka won. She should have won. I know it's a little bit botchy, slippy blippy. Don't worry, it'll get better. It'll get better. Shout out to Becky Lynch. She knows one thing I'm gonna say about her. She's not even nowhere near my favorite horsewoman. She's not even one of my favorite female wrestlers of all time, to be honest.
Right.
But she knows her star. She knows her star power. She does it very well. She definitely knows and does elevate wrestlers lower than her.
So I gotta stop you there. I do want to hit on one thing. I 100% agree with you regarding Jade Cargill. I feel like she's beginning to hit this stride. Like it's like when you figure out the cheat code, you're like, okay, I got this now. Mm-hmm. And I feel like she's in that position where the only thing you can do is continue to go up. Everything.
She hasn't plateaued at all. She's going to get better and better.
Yeah. And I think it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, now I'm very intrigued to see certain matches. So like I've seen you with Rhea now, so like I'm looking forward to the moment both her and Charlotte can work a feud, and then maybe at some point, after everybody come off the maternity leaves. we could get the Naomi Jade, and we could get that Bianca Jade that a lot of us were anxious to see when she arrived in the WWE.
We were clamoring for that.
Yeah, we thought we was going to have something like that, this year at Mania.
That she wanted to start a family.
Oh,
wrong with her.
Sarcasm, guys. Sarcasm.
It's all Montez's fault.
Yeah, right. But that should be the next time. Blame Montez.
Yeah, right. Talking crap. My favorite WWE couple ever, by the way, people. Just
right. Far as Soul Ruka, I have to unfortunately disagree with you. I feel like it's too soon for her to have this title. And to be honest with you, and I'm gonna be completely transparent, like her run on the main roster, if I had to put one word to it at this time, the current climate to me, it's cringy. Like, you made your debut, we had the unfortunate botch, with her going to the ropes to do the soul snatch. And it's happened quite a few times, and it was even evident during that Clash event where like Becky had to put herself in position to assist her to do the rope off, to do the maneuver that she done off the ropes to then win the championship. But what really bothered me of all things is it was actually the segment that she cut on Raw that Monday, and I don't know like how you appreciate that interview of being, but it was lackluster. Like, first off, she sounded like Liv. Maybe I'm tripping. You could go back and watch it. She sounded exactly like Liv in that promo. Like it just didn't do it for me. And I don't know if the WWE universe also how long they will be behind this. Like, I love Soul, but I'm just not feeling this run at this time. I see your face. I know you're like upset with me. Like, what? Like,
okay.
Oh, hey, man, look, I gotta do the man of fair.
I just want to put a disclaimer out here. When I be talking this shit, ladies and gentlemen, I am the hater of all haters. I am. You go talking. It's so refreshing to hear this from him. He's just like, huh, is that right? Is that right? Okay.
Listen, I
Okay.
you know,
Listen.
like our guy in Battle Rap, Chris Unbiased. Like, I gotta be unbiased. Like,
Listen, as it. Listen, she is no far from a finished product.
agree.
She has no background in wrestling.
I mean, I
It's like,
agree with
that's what
all
I
of
say.
this,
So that's why she was in NXT.
but
They
I
they
mean, like,
they understand this is what happens when they rush people. That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised they called her up as soon as they did,
yeah,
especially how long people like Lola and Jada, who's been there, I think, before she was, and they're still down there and like this, and rightfully so, rightfully so, because they weren't ready yet. They still had to get their in-ring stuff to better. They had to get better with promos. Like, and it's like, and I feel like like her, she's so athletic, and I still think she has the best finisher in the business. Like I do. I love that soul snatcher thing. And I know it's basically pomp and circumstance. It's an RKO. She just does a little flippy thing and all that. I get the whole setup and all that stuff is weird. I get it, but it looks amazing. It's one of my favorite finishers in the business. It's
oh yeah,
like,
no question, great
yeah,
move.
amazing. Yeah. What's name? So I think just because she's once again, when you have a different appeal and look and energy, and people seeing how WWE seeing how the people are reacting or was reacting to her in NXT, I knew they was going to call her up because honestly, because of women being out on maternity leave and stuff like that. Think about we were getting the same old on
Yeah.
these respective. Like, so it's like how much can we keep just being Rhea, Io, Liv, Rhea, Io, Liv like this? All right, now Charlotte and Lexus in the mix, cool. But even that is like it's the same thing over and over on both shows. It's not even like it's strictly Raw, strictly SmackDown. I told you that draft is bullshit. Like they
Oh
give
yeah,
people,
I mean,
these,
we
yeah,
all
these
know that.
people, yeah, these the same women on both shows over and over. You sprinkle a little Nia and Lash in there. Then you sprinkle a little bit of Bailey and Lyra, like this, like I said, but it's like it's the same thing over and over. You got Jada, it's the same as that. People, you need something fresh. You do. And like this. And I see a bigger ceiling for Soul than I ever did with Maxine Dupree. Like when they put that belt on her, that had me like, what the hell are you guys doing? What are you serious? Number one, sorry, she can't wrestle. This is like this. She can't. She's I get it. She's tall, she's blind. Not I say with an accent. She's blonde hair. I get it. She's tall, she's blonde hair, she's pretty. Push her. No. That's not what it means.
It's about to happen.
Like this. I'm like, can you see her when they slowly doing her? But I hope this whole time they haven't had her on screen. Well, in the ring, they had her like little bits on screen. I hope she's been in the performance center getting better because she would like a spinning wheel kick. She would mess that up. She would be like miles away from the person, like, and they have to try to sell that. And when they made her IC champion, I was like, nah, this is bullshit.
Right.
I'm more comfortable with Sol Ruka because if Sol gives me this type of thing where I feel like she knows it's not going right and she's going to do what she thinks she has to do. It's not going to be a polished product within the next week or two.
Right.
But I swear by what's this? I promise you by end of June going to July, she's gonna be like way better. You're gonna be like, okay, I see it now.
I hope so. I'm taking your word on that, but yeah. I hope so because like where she is now, like she really don't have that much room for any error. And then having to capitalize off that soul snatch, like that move alone is like make or break you. And again, unfortunate it happened like on her debut on Raw, but then also too, it's like I know like it's that you got to crawl before you walk type of thing, and I think that's definitely gonna play a part with her getting comfortable being on the main roster. I still don't believe that it had to be required for her to be the IC champ. Like I feel like they probably could have still ran the storyline with Becky a little bit longer, filling biasness from the female reference named Jessica Carr. Like that, like they still could have ran with that and maybe open the window for someone else to be in contention for the Intercontinental Championship. But I mean, we'll see what happens. But when you get a chance, go back and listen to that interview that she cut on Monday, and I swear, like she sounded exactly like Liv Morgan during that whole interview segment. Like it was literally almost like carbon copy. I honestly think how she spoke, the writers who probably wrote that probably did write it for Liv some time ago,
They probably did.
and that's why like it sounds so familiar. I'm like, wait a minute, because like just go back and listen to it. It's like you gonna be like, oh shit, I see what you're talking about. But yeah, but all in all, to me though, you know, just to jump off of Clash in Italy, I would have given it maybe about I'd say probably about an 8, maybe I give it an 8.
It's
Like,
all right.
yeah, I thought it was a dope. Again, one of my gripes was Soul winning, defeated Becky. Like I you know what I mean would have went away with that. Other than that, I thought the Brock over match. I probably would have went over too.
Yeah.
And then maybe, you know what I mean, since we do know that there would be a part 3, which could potentially happen at SummerSlam, then I'll give Brock that win then, and then let him, you know what I mean, go off, you know, to go fishing or hunting, whatever he does. Like, you know, like go down 2-0. Would he be able to defy the odds by being able to come back? But I see what they're doing, and it's almost cliche. Like, you know, you got, you know what I mean, one you know what I mean, they each got one. So now we got round 3 coming up and SummerSlam in Minnesota. So, but yeah, that's probably like the 2 knocks that I probably would have had for the PLE this past Sunday. So, but moving on from that, what do we got coming up next after Clash? Was it I know we got the King of the Ring stuff going on.
Queen in the Ring stuff.
Yeah, I know. You know, I know that. Yeah,
so you got that. Then after is it Money in the Bank after that?
I believe so. I believe it is.
Yeah,
but you know, something that did catch my eye. Sorry, it's just kind of you know jumping into that now. This is probably one of my favorites that's going on with on the SmackDown brand, and I did speak on this a little bit last week, but it's the Sami Zayn Johnny Gargano connection, and and last Friday, both me and Joey, we talked about it, and Joey wasn't a much of a big fan of it.
Because he doesn't like Sami Zayn at all. That's why he don't like Sami Zayn at all. He feel like his old same shit. He does not care for Sami Zayn.
Right. I wanted to get you. Have you been following this story with
No, not really.
So basically, what's been going on, and actually, I think I even did a little screenshot of this. Hold on. Let's see if I can pull it up. And I did. So basically, so if you don't know, like he's been going on like this like bender where like he's no longer feeling respected. He feel like the company's going in a different direction, and now he's claiming to be the last good guy. So so with that being said, as he voices his frustrations backstage on SmackDown, he tends to go back there and voice his frustrations to Johnny Gargano. It's almost like him going to the church pew, you know, to go to talk to the priest. And this is what he's been doing like over the last couple of weeks, where like he's been saying how like Gargano gets it, like he understands, you know, what's going on, and how being treated this way. And there's little moments where like it looks like this is like on the verge of bringing Johnny Gargano back to life. And I truly believe this is what's going to happen. And with that being said, last week I brought this up on the show, and I made a bold prediction. I truly believe there's a chance that we may see Sami Zayn face Cody Rhodes for the title, and the possibility of Gargano assisting Sami Zayn to maybe dethrone Cody Rhodes.
Oh, I hope that doesn't happen.
What's wrong with it?
I'm sorry, and I don't mind Sammy, but I don't like him that much either. To be honest, like this, as an in-ring talent, I think he's A1. I've never had a problem with his in-ring matches. Like he's good. What's his name? Anybody who knows wrestling or loves wrestling knows he's good. Just him as a world champion. It's just certain people I don't see as that guy. Somebody who like, because honestly, this is how it's supposed to be. If you're the world champion in whatever respective company, that means you're the number one person that this company could put all the responsibility on you, and you garner all the attention. You're bringing in more eyes, more sponsors, more all this stuff because you have this appeal about you, not just having the title, but something about you that we all are investing in you. You saw that. You see that with Roman. You see that with Cody. You see that with CM Punk. You saw in the past people like The Rock, Austin Flair, Michaels, Hogan, Bret Hart, blah, blah, blah. Go on. Ric Flair, on and on. You saw how a whole company can invest in that person and say, you're our guy. We know we're in good hands with you. I don't see that with Sami Zayn.
Not with like, the last good guy?
Like, no, I don't see that with Sami Zayn. Even with people who are not as big as name as those guys I just said, but I still see like those people will bring in eyes. Chris Jericho's a world champion, makes sense to me. Freaking even Kevin Owens is a world champion, makes sense to me because he has this like overall charisma, personality that makes you want to watch him because he's so good at talking. You just want to see what the hell he's going to say next.
Right.
What's the name? So some people get it for sentimental reasons. Like I was absolutely over the moon when Kofi Kingston won the WWE Championship, but I knew that was going to be a short ass reign because he doesn't have this overall crazy appeal to where all these new eyes and stuff are going to come watch WWE. Right. Like this, just the diehard people are going to be locked in, but he's not going to get these outside, entertainment forces and businesses to be like, oh shit, Kofi the champion now. Like that just I knew that wasn't going to happen. It was there. So like certain people make sense, certain people don't. Sammy does not make sense to me. I'm sorry. Like this, he just told you in-ring talent, even as a personality. I think he's hilarious. I love his comedic timing when he does his dancing and all that.
Right.
I crack up. I think he's a joy to watch. But as I say, it's a reason why R-Truth never became WWE champion. All right. He's like, you just got to know certain people just got to stay in a certain lane and level.
You know what? Since you brought him up, not to even go like way left. I mean, it still stays on the SmackDown roster. This actually was another catch my eye. I don't know why, but this Damian Priest R-Truth Tag Team Championship run annoys me.
As it should. Should never happen.
Yeah, it's a no for me.
It makes no sense. Like, I don't want to go on a rant. I feel like
that's why we here. Talk your shit.
Okay. All right.
Not too long though.
No. So first things first, let's just get WWE. What the fuck? It's like you let go of like 3 or 4 actual tag teams, like actual groups, people who were like on paper a tag team, a duo, a trio. Like you put this makeshift team together, Damian Priest and R-Truth, who's basically a part-timer as far as in-ring action. He does majority of his last year was just in-ring segments. Like this, I mean, outside segments, being the comic relief. That's what he's known for, and he's good with that. Ain't no problem with that. He's getting paid very well to do something he loves. And he's getting older. He probably don't want to take that many bumps no more. but you're gonna put them out there. You put in championships, something that's supposed to be prestigious and mean something, on a guy who just a couple years ago was your world heavyweight champion, and now let's be real, he's slumming it down the. He's in the weakest division in your company. This was your world champion a couple years ago. Now he's in the weakest division in your company, and is like it's leading to absolutely nothing. Like, what is the purpose of this team?
Yeah,
It's like they're going to go nowhere. They're not gonna headline or main event any shows. Like, I'm talking about any show. I'm talking about Raw, SmackDown, like a PLE. Forget about it. Like this. So it's like, what are we doing here? And which is not, once again, none against them. Like this, I'm not the biggest Damian Priest guy. I'll be honest with you. I like him. Well, I'm not the biggest Damian Priest guy at all. R-Truth, I love him to death as he's hilarious and funny. But at times, even his shit gets a little old. I'll be like this. I'm like, all right, it's funny, but it's not that funny.
right.
It's
right.
like he has his moments. But I'm just like, all right, what are we doing with these? What are we doing? This tag team division sucks. Like, it fucking sucks. So that's my rant on that. But it, like, I see why it should annoy you. You said it annoys you. I get it.
Yeah, yeah. Like it just does absolutely nothing for me. Honestly, it really doesn't do anything for them other than actually holding on to a title because they're a notable name.
That's it.
Like outside of that, like you're telling me like y'all couldn't figure out some way like to keep the titles around the MFT or to, elevate the tag team division much better than what you're currently doing. Like you couldn't allow that to open the window up for maybe like more stories for the Motor City Machine Guns, despite they're gone now. y'all couldn't y'all for some reason something wouldn't allow them to do that. So it's like, okay, let's go back to our big hitters and let's just put the titles on them. Like that's basically what it is. And I hate to say this, it's almost you know what? I'm not gonna go there. This is gonna be disrespect because like, they're one's a Hall of Famer, one is on a verge of being a Hall of Famer. But it's kind of on the same level as them putting the titles on both Paige and Brie Bella. Like it's literally the same exact thing, just they're on a different brand.
Now,
well, I mean, they go to all brands, but go ahead.
Yeah, before you say no disrespect for them, granted, yes, they are both future Hall of Famers. They are. But it's honestly that's probably the most accurate. I'm gonna say perfect, but it's most accurate analogy because you have the women's tag team titles on Brie and Paige for what? I know there was an audible because Nikki got hurt,
right?
But so what? That doesn't mean bring Paige back and put the belts on her because Paige is supposed to be a big name in this business as far as that women's division. Like she's supposed to be a bigger name, honestly, because she was came in out of NXT, coming in hot first night on Raw, beats AJ for the Divas Championship. So that now you're a big deal. People loved her. She was a big deal. Got hurt, thought her career was over, came back, started AEW, came in hot, but fizzled out very, very quickly. But still became world champion over there. She's still a big, huge name.
Yeah.
Here's her final return after all these years to WWE, and you put her in the tag team division because you guys were you could have put Brie with anybody. You could have put with anybody.
Right.
It is. Now you got these two girls together, and once again, they're not firing on all cylinders. I don't really see people like buzzing and clamoring for them when they come out and like are really into the magic like this. I'm not even trying to be harsh. Like I'm locked in. I'm trying to see if people are like, oh shit, Brie Paige, but they're not. And honestly, too, like this, I know there's been a stigma on Brie for a long time, but it is a little bit accurate. People don't really care about her like that. They just associate her with Bryan Danielson. And that's like, and it's hard not to. One of the most popular, best wrestlers we ever seen. Yes. So it's like, so it's hard not to associate her with him. But she came up in that Divas reality TV show era, that's how they see her. They just see her as this reality TV chick who does wrestling. They don't see her as an actual in-ring competitor who's like this. They honestly always look at the Bella Twins and thought they were kind of corny.
Right, but right now see what, like, when you say that, I can see where like two individuals can respectfully say that they saw it on the lines of the whole total divas era, and then I can see someone where they can say that, you know what, I really don't pay attention to that. Like I do focus on the ring, and even still, like without having to watch all of that, it just the placement for them, you know what I mean, with the run. Again, like we all know, it should be both Bellas in the run, but they had to pivot for it. But I think now, letting it, after letting it transpire, like, them taking the belts off of them, I mean, it was mad whack, but I'm surprised as of this date they still have yet to get those titles back. Like that's what shocks me. But I did want to say, just as far as like, Grant, as far as like with the Bellas, supposedly, having to have those titles, but at the end of the day, like the long term would be to put it back on like either Lash or Nia, but then also too, like the women's like rosters on the main rosters are starting to get a little bit crowded, to the point where like they got new other alternatives but to create tag teams with them, like how we see Charlotte and Alexa and Lyra Bailey, like.
Because you got your, I didn't even call them older, because these women are still fairly freaking young. They're not
right.
Like, I don't think none of them are in the actual 40s yet.
Right. Real quick, but before you say what you about to say, like at this point, at least allow it to be a focal point of the stories, like, involving the tag team titles, like, like they're picking their spots, and where it's like now the rub is getting ready to go to Fatal Influence. Like, it looks like they're getting ready to do a run with them. But my fault, I didn't mean to cut you off right there. But I just wanted to add that, to the end of what I was just talking about.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, what you were saying is that was like actually like not so much piggybacking off it, but like going off, like kind of bringing into this, like you said, it's getting kind of crowded, and it's getting kind of crowded because a lot of the more tenured, like I said, not older, but the more tenured women who've been holding it down for honestly low key for over a decade in the WWE,
right,
are now like how often can we keep using them? Like can't like of course we're going to keep using Charlotte, Becky, Bailey, Alexa, because they are huge names and they're big fan favorites. And like, who I never thought in the world I would say that about Charlotte, but now all of a sudden Charlotte, it's a big legit fan favorite. Is one of the things that I've been noticing. You said some of the stuff we've been noticing. I've noticed these last 4 or 5 months, Charlotte has really finally gotten over as a babyface.
She hit that stride.
She finally has gotten over as a babyface with the fans. They finally are embracing her. And like are not like, no, we don't want you, because she never had go away heat, but she did have a bunch of like, we don't like FU heat. Like we just like, we just like, no matter what they did, it's like, no, you're not a baby face. We not accepting you as that.
You know what I think is helping her a lot more too? Like there's like, you can sense a little bit more of the authenticity from her.
Mm-hmm.
Like for some reason, it's definitely much different this time around than what it was before.
But
like
honestly, too, I'm looking at it. I think she's just actually now having fun and not worried about being so competitive.
Yeah,
I think when she first started, she knew what the deal was. She knew everybody's gonna look at her as Ric Flair's daughter. They're gonna see her as a nepo baby and just like feel like she's being pushed because her affiliation, because of the last name. So I think and she didn't never want that stigma, because she never honestly would even want to become a wrestler at first.
Right.
So I think she always had that chip on her shoulder, and she just wanted to constantly show people that she was the best because she made herself the best, not because the machine was pushing her. Even though they were, let's be real, they were. Like, God knows they were, because she should not have been in that main event in WrestleMania. It should have been Becky, Ronda, that's it. But whatever, another story for another time. What's the name? But I think she was so competitive and just always worried about being the best female athlete and all that stuff. I don't think she actually was like having fun like this. Like, she probably did behind the scenes, but out there in the ring,
right?
She always felt like she had to be just that tough, like you people are going to love me whether you like it or not. Now I feel like she doesn't have that mentality. Now it's more so like, I'm a
less narcissist.
Yeah. I'm gonna peel back this hard exterior that I think I have to put up when that's not actually who I am. Like, let me just be me. And through all this shit I've been through, let me just be me and dial it down and just enjoy myself and see and be more open with people and see what happens. And as soon as she did that, people was like, "Oh, you're actually cool. What the hell was this 7 years ago?"
And the crazy part is, I feel like that was always like what she is now is what she really is, and likely in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
She's
not saying. I think she's actually showing her now.
Yeah,
and it's like, and I didn't being as being a character, but also still being this. I got to be this stern. Like, honestly, her mentality, you could tell who her dad was. Her dad's probably saying to her, remember, she's being coached by this man too. Right. Remember, back then, his whole mentality, you heard him saying, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Mm-hmm. So you got to have this mentality that you were the best and you don't care what nobody says. You're going to go out there and be the best. And, like, don't matter if they cheer or boo, they're always going to watch. So if they don't like you, who gives a shit? Just go out there and prove you're the best. And never show you, like, I mean, because Ric Flair, honestly, even though he was being a character, he was honestly being himself.
Right. Yeah.
the whole time. Like, he was being that. It was actually dialed down in the ring.
Right.
Of who he really was. So she was taught by that guy, as in Ric Flair, of this is how you have to be as a character, as a persona, and all this stuff. So maybe she finally was like, comfortable in herself as an individual, be like, man, I don't want to be all that no more. Like, let me just have fun. And because she done it all. Like, what else could she do? She's done it all.
No, I agree with that.
She's a 14-time world champion, two-time Royal Rumble winner, freaking main evented WrestleMania tag team champion.
She's done a lot. Like, you really think about it, she's done a lot. Like,
she's done a lot.
She's now at the point where, like, she can choose to continue to go on for more title success, or possibly transition at any point, as far as, like, you know, maybe like a backstage role or something.
Backstage role.
Yeah.
Not 100% think she's going to do that unless she gets into her. She seems like she's a big fashion person. Yeah. So I think
the drip been crazy lately.
Yeah.
Funny you bring that up, because what's the boy? Is Joseph? He talked about that.
I saw you like that post.
It's crazy because, like, I peeped that a while back. Like, I'm like, yo, like, the show. I mean, we've talked about it, but now that, you know, it's definitely circulating. Like,
fashion wise, she's always been, like, very well put together as far as how she puts her outfits and stuff together and all that. And I like this, and
the creases in the poses. Sorry.
You have to have a certain mindset and comfortability to wear certain things, because she says she always had body, like, issues and shame issues for a long time. That's why she used to, you know, get those surgeries and enhancements, because she just wasn't secure who she was.
Right.
What's name? So now, like I said, I really think at this point in life, I think she's just way more comfortable in who she is.
It's funny, we talking about the Flairs at TNA. They just went to a commercial break, and it's the car show commercial with Flair. Literally, they've been running this commercial for like at least a good 6 to 8 years by now.
Yeah, I know, right?
They still show the one with LA Knight when he was when he was part of the NWA, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my gosh, jeez.
Yeah, but
shout out to Belly. Shout out to Belly, by the way, everybody's favorite role model. If y'all seen her latest Instagram post, that's all I'm gonna say. Damn it.
Really, I didn't even see it.
Oh, you ain't see that?
Nah.
Oh, Belly the GOAT. She the one.
I'll check it out momentarily, but
she the one.
Not for nothing. I do want to just mention on a TNA front, to those who might be checking in tonight, they are getting ready to have the Wicked Garden match with the Righteous going up against the Hardys, and the stipulation of this match, they got flowers wrapped around the ring that also include barbed wire wrapped along the flowers. So yeah, so got a nice little barbed wire match on regular television. Well, actually, network television. So, but no, like outside of everything we talked about, anything else like on the WWE front that that's caught your eye like over the last week, or just in general, like as of late, that's like really catching your eye?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they are doing with my boy Dirty Dom.
He's in that pocket now, and I'm glad you said that, because how convenient that they made the announcement that Finn was traded to SmackDown like during a commercial break.
Yeah,
on Raw. I'm like, wait, unless I was oblivious to any announcement of this, but I didn't see anything that he was traded until they made that announcement during the Judgment Day interview during the commercial break of Raw.
That was the announcement. That was the announcement. There was no builder. That was the announcement. So the reason why they did that, because he had that last match against JD.
Yeah.
And they figured that was just a good way to separate him from them, because even though they it said didn't make no sense that after he won that feud or finished the win of that feud, that they would still be on the same show, because he felt like they would still constantly bump heads with each other. So it just made sense to move Finn to SmackDown so he could do his own thing and not worry about the Judgment Day stuff, which makes sense.
I mean, granted, he was a prior SmackDown guy, but it's like the way like that heavyweight title picture is looking, I don't know. Like he gonna be in the back of the line for a while.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the back of the line there too. Yeah, it's like this. Right. Like this. He's gonna be a top mid-card guy, as he's always been for the past 8 years or so. So like, he's not, sorry to say, I don't ever see Finn getting close to the world title again. Like, I'm sorry, because even though he looks 10 times better than majority of us, I'm in shape, but like, God, that man's in immaculate shape. But like, but he's getting up there in age, as far as like star power, like this, like Finn is Finn. He's always gonna be a cult following. People gonna love him, Bullet Club, all that stuff. But far as like, WWE's making new stars. Right. You got your Tricks, you got your Obas, like this on the low. Kit Wilson, like, is actually like, he's pretty damn popular because he's hilarious and he has this thing appeal about him. You got other people that's gonna come up soon. You still got Cody, who's still A1. You got Roman, still A1. Seeing guys are older tenure once again, but like, they're still the top guys. And like this, you got Gunther still. I just don't see him getting in the mix of that anytime soon. So it's like, as you said, like he's going to be in the back of that line too. So so that's why I said to get back to Dom, who is a future star. He's one of the faces who should be like, he had the biggest pop last year's WrestleMania. Like that was a baby face pop when he won that IC title. That was a baby face pop reaction. Yeah. I was like, yes, my boy is to the moon. And then they gave him the AAA Mega World Championship. I was like, oh yeah, to the moon. Next thing you know, no, loses the Penta because he was cursed. Like, I'm like, come on with this bullshit. All right, man. Jeez, here we go. Like, all right, maybe it's a fluke thing. He'll get the belt back in 2 weeks or something. No. Now, granted, Penta's been doing a great job with it because he's having amazing matches. Love his appeal. Love his look.
He working.
The boy's working. So I ain't mad about that at all.
It's not that Dom been working too. Like, he's still been doing AAA and stuff. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, how is Dom should be in the world title picture, but now How you gonna be the world title picture with Roman Reigns and now Oba Femi over here killing? Like, how do you put him in the mix of that? So he has to. Like, I already have an idea about it. It's something I said 2 years ago. He has to win Money in the Bank, and because he's the perfect person to win that.
And
He
you know
has
that,
to.
yeah, and you know that was my bold prediction for him to win it. I don't know. As of this date, I don't know if he will now.
I don't know if he will either. I said he has to. That's the only
Yeah.
way he can get into that title picture because of who he is. It makes sense for him to have that briefcase because how his character is.
Right.
But now I don't flipping know who the hell's remotely closest. If it ain't him, like if F round give it to Seth Rollins again, like same shit. Like Seth Rollins been.
I can actually see that.
I said it. F round give it to Seth Rollins again. He never lost the title, and you saw after the Italy show he did the belt thing to put up the one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh great, here we go with these two again.
You know what? Right out the gate, I could see either Seth, Montez, Trick, Dirty Dom, maybe LA Knight. Damn, it's one more. I'm because we just talked about it, I'm gonna just throw Finn in there for now.
Okay.
That could, yeah, you know what I mean, might be like in that title contention.
Yeah, if it's not Finn, it's gonna be Gunther because Gunther's always in the title contention. They just love putting him in the title contention.
I think they may fall back from him like being like in the Money in the Bank. I think if anything, they'll probably place Gunther in the mix as far as like, I mean, as it would be a part of the whole King of the Ring tournament.
Yeah, it should be. So hold on, does any of them? It might be Finn because in every Money in the Bank you need a high flyer. So
right.
Like they always have that one person who's super athletic. So if it's not him, every Efron be Javon Evans. Like they just want somebody who's young who can take the bumps.
Right.
And so,
but I mean, I'm just thinking about like competitors that could likely be in the Money in the Bank.
That's what I'm saying. If it's not Finn, it'd be somebody like a Javon Evans, somebody who's just young who's going to do these spots that you have the crowd go, oh, like
right.
I mean,
yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Because how many competitors? What 6? Right?
She's like 6.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. Like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised. But LA Knight's probably going to be in it. But I wouldn't be surprised if he isn't either. Because I don't know. Once again, WWE, Dom, LA Knight, I don't know what the hell they're doing. At
this point, LA Knight should just revert back to being a heel.
He should be.
Because he's now like been on like this like nonstop like anti-bloodline type thing. Like he thinks he's almost at the point like with the Jericho conspiracy. Like he thinks Adam Pearce has some, you know what I mean, something to do with it now, as far as like providing special treatment for the bloodline and stuff. So like I can see him going back like to the heel side.
Yeah, for sure. That's it for sure. Yeah. It makes more sense. I said at this point, just gotta make him heel because the babyface thing where he was super over like 3 years ago, and like they just once again gave it to Damian Priest. And I was like, why? They're like he doesn't. Yeah, LA Knight. He doesn't need the rub. That so what? It's not about that.
Right.
It's about the guy who was super over, who could be a world champion, somebody who can invest into the company. And he would bring in eyes and ears and all that stuff.
You know what? You just set that up for the perfect segue. But go ahead. I'll let you finish that last.
No, I'm just saying you did that with LA Knight. You wasn't doing that with Damian Priest.
Right.
He wasn't. So that's all.
Yeah. Like what you just said is why AEW is in the best spot that they could be in right now. Like, granted, like everybody has their stories. Like, you think about the history of WWE, like we were built on WWE and the storylines. Mm-hmm. So like with AEW, like initially there was like the whole competitor records, you know, the whole 9 that was supposed to be like their thing, their mantra. But eventually they kind of like went off of that to dive a little bit more into the storyline front. And now, like looking at where the product is today, like I love how AEW does their stories. Like initially, I was like, sometimes now, granted, they do have their moments. They do have their moments where like it's like head scratching, like like what the fuck, like y'all doing this, but
I had that recently.
Yeah, it makes it, but it makes total sense for them because it's like everybody that's like in the mix of like the matches that they display, week after week, like they're all in contention, but there's never not like a set person that could be going for the heavyweight title, like what MJF got going on, or even just like with Darby previously holding the championship, and he was like the fighting champion, and he was fighting wrestlers week after week after week after week, and it's like you like, yeah, I'm like, yo, why are they like really putting him through the putting him through the gauntlet every week? But it made sense. Like it told the story of the persona of Darby Allin. So like what they're doing like with MJF now, where like he was granting certain wrestlers like a title shot, but then also too like you still got Mark Briscoe on his top, you got Kevin Knight on his top, like you still got cats like Brody King, like everybody is gunning for MGF, which makes sense though, because like if you're a pro wrestler, the object of being in this industry is to become a champion one day. So therefore, allowing every star to make a case for them to be a heavyweight champion, you can't lose. Like you can't lose that. And I like what they got going on. I like how they gave Rush a title shot opportunity this past Wednesday, and then now it looks like we got that feud between Mark Briscoe and MJF. Coming back to light again. Like we're getting those two. Kevin Knight said, "Listen, like I'm waiting for you. Like we have all of this, and it still doesn't meet to the name of an Edge, somebody wanting to go for the heavyweight championship, or a returning Hangman, or someone like to that level. Like AEW is in a phenomenal spot. That's all I'm gonna say. Like TK, keep your foot on the pedal right now and don't fuck it up. That's all I got to say. You my man, 100 grand. You already know." Like
I texted this in the group. I said, pains me to say this, I'm ride or die WWE. I said, but AEW is better right now. And it's like it's not by a landslide, but it's a pretty nice gap. Like they just, only thing they're still lacking on is their women's division. They just still not booking the women like they should. Like they'll have 2-hour shows and one women's match. It's just like, come on, what are we doing? And right now they definitely have the female talent. Before they didn't have as much, but right now they have the talent. They had people who started to actually build names, like household names. People where AEW first started, you didn't know these women like that.
Right.
Now you do.
To play a little advocate, they are getting a little better with that. Like, although like it doesn't, they might throw a match or a segment on Dynamite, but they might throw a match or two on Collision. Like they're getting better on. I'm gonna say that they're a work in progress on that. Like it's getting there, and I think they're really getting ready to begin hitting the stride with what we had transpire last night with the return of Mercedes Moné. Like, entering the Owen Hart Cup, which I totally forgot she won last year. So when she won the match last night and then took the title, I was like, oh wait, what's she doing? I was like, that's bad luck. I was like, oh shit, that's right. She's the reigning champ.
She's the reigning champion. Yeah. She wasn't supposed to be even in the tournament until Willow got hurt.
Right.
So which is funny, even though she's the reigning champ, it's not even, it's a tournament, so she's not a champion. But it's like that was one that cracked me up when they talking about all her championships reigns she had. I'm like, that Owen Hart one should not count. That's not a championship. Like, what are we doing?
Title.
I know they give a title and a nice trophy. Like, I'm like, yo, like she's not defending that title. Like he's right. But I understood. I mean, like Mercedes Moné. Ultimo Monet. There you go. Ultimo Monet.
Right.
Because she I think she beat Ultimo Dragon's record of how many championships he had. What's his name? So yeah, but like with her, that's what I said when she came back and I heard the crowd's reaction. I was like, oh, y'all like her now, huh?
Yeah, right. I mean, you know that's gonna happen. Like
she gets so much hate online, man. And I just be looking at like y'all some straight frauds, number one, y'all. If y'all see this girl in person, y'all will be all on, oh, Mercedes. Y'all just love to hate on like certain women of certain ethnicities. Let's be real.
But let me tell you something though. Just going back to that match. If this was me being the booker, like I'm sorry, Mercedes, I probably would have had her lose last night.
No, I'm not having her lose.
I probably would have had her losing to Windsor.
Damn sure would have her lose.
No, like, hey, look, don't sleep on Windsor. Like Windsor is.
I mean, Windsor beat her for that championship. One of her belts, like what was the Red Pro? I think she beat her for the Red Pro championship.
But
so I'm not sleeping on her, but just like it made sense. She got her lick back because she just beat her for that title, so that was her way of getting her little revenge.
True, but see, and this is where long-term storytelling is going to have to come into play, because remember, like she went out, like basically like snapping out, like so technically with her return, she's now fully healed. She's now centered to getting back to being the CEO. So there's nothing else that she can do but win this tournament to be able to get back into the title picture. But like the amount of women that they got on their roster today, like not saying that I don't want to see her not lose this tournament. Like, I'm all for Mercedes do her thing, but it's like I don't want to say it's obvious that she's probably going to win it. Maybe not. Maybe that snap out happened if she were to lose in the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like they still got to pick up off that story, unless they're going to play us as if like the shit never happened and go about new business, a new day. Like I hope not. But that did stay in the back of my mind, because the last visual I believe we've all had with Mercedes was her getting the cake to her face courtesy of Willow, Statliner, and all of them. Yeah. So it's like, people don't. I mean, I might have forgot her winning the Owen Hart Cup last year, but
you remember that. But you remember her getting the cake to the face.
Okay. But yeah, so it's like they do gotta kind of continue on that, or at least like tell the story where she is now, like where she is, mentally, getting back into the square circle. But no, like, man, listen, probably the best wrestler character right now in AEW is probably someone that who. I thought you, for some reason, I thought you was about to say Warlow. Wait, what?
No.
Like, but he ain't even been there. No, but
American Gladiators right now.
Right. Which, by the way, I need to check out. I still have yet to check it out.
I checked it out a little bit.
Yeah, it do it have like the vintage feel to it, or no? No. Okay.
Somewhat, but no.
I'll wait about another week or two to check it out. Yeah. Real talk. Like, and I tweeted this out yesterday. I said, from a character perspective as well as in-ring ability, Lio Rush is that guy.
I was about to say, I said Lio Rush. That's what
it was. Lio. Okay. Yeah. Lio Rush is that guy. And I love the work he's doing. I love how like how the conglomerate, like with Orange Cassidy and them, like how like they're like, you know, trying to like be standoffish from him, like whenever he come around, especially that one spot last night where Leo was going down the ring and the conglomerate was getting ready to go back to the ring. I mean, go back to to the dressing rooms, and they all they all abruptly stopped, like because they said, if you stay still, Leo won't see you.
He won't see you. Yeah,
I love that. Like I love those
yeah. And
mini
you know me,
stories.
I'm at a certain age where I'm like, a lot of stuff I look at is so damn stupid, but this actually cracks me up. Like it's like I enjoy it. Even if it doesn't crack me up, I'm like, I was like, this is funny. This is funny.
Yeah.
What's his name? Leo Rush. I was thinking about this earlier when you talked about 5 things that caught my eye. Like this, the first person that came to my mind was Leo Rush, because once he turned into this character, I was like, it's crazy how he's pulling this off. Only issue I had with it is it just came out of nowhere with it. Like it was no build to it. It was no him showing signs of him transforming in this. Nothing. He was in a tag team. Yeah. Wait, I don't even remember the guy's name now. I'm sorry.
Andretti. Andretti.
Okay, yeah, they were tagged. It was them. I'm like, okay, pretty decent little tag team. Not crazy. It wasn't doing nothing. It wasn't setting the world on fire, but they were very decent because they can go in the ring. So all the match was entertaining. But next thing I know, they're not a tag team. Leo's bald, and now he's this character. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? Where did this come from?
Because it's funny because what was that? It was that one pay-per-view where he jumped in. It was the what's the name? The stipulation, like the wild card joint,
the wild card joint,
the battle royal joint. Yeah, like the casino battle royal. Yeah, he just hopped right into the battle royal. Like, it was like, oh shit, like Leo Rush still here?
Yeah, that's it. It was like, okay, he's this now, and it was just like nothing. Like this, like. I'm like, that's like just crazy, which is weird to me. That's the only caveat I got with this. Is like how they just jumped into this with no explanation whatsoever. It was just like, he's this now. And but it's working. It is working. And honestly, I'm sorry to say this only works at places like AEW, because if he's to beat it in WWE right now and try to do this character, they would let him go.
I think it will work, but I think it would be a cap, a limit to how long it will work.
Like, to say, those characters don't last long.
No,
because like in WWE anyway, like you see the YS6, it worked for like a month, then it was like done. But that's what they would book horribly too, and written for horribly. But Bray Wyatt has so much input to his character, that's why it worked.
Right,
because he had to say of what and how and blah blah blah. That's why it worked. What's the name? But it just won't work there long enough. Like this, like that's why Finn doesn't do the demon thing so often, because WWE would just brutally murder that character. Right. What's the name? But Leo Rush, A1, bro.
Big facts, big facts. And listen, like I don't even be upset if he were to even take the pin. Like, yeah. Like it I don't think it really does anything. Like,
no, it doesn't.
If anything, for what the way that the character is driven, and like he says, like it's like he's getting stronger. Yeah. like he's getting stronger.
And these characters you don't worry about having championships and stuff like that. Like they're not there to be great champions. They're there to cause havoc and fear, and like they're not there like this. Like it'd be nice to them have something shiny. I always felt like it was weird seeing certain people, those dark characters with championships. Like I never had a problem with Undertaker as a champion, but anytime he had a championship, I look at it like this looks weird.
Yeah,
like with him, especially with the big gold belt, one of my favorite championship belts ever. When we get the big gold world title, you know what I mean? Like I always look at that like. I was like, this looks weird. It's like on him with that character. Just like I just never got it.
Right.
Like, I mean, when he was the American Badass, all right, that looked like, okay, that looked like a guy who had a belt. what's his name? This big tough guy with the championship. Yeah, come get this from me if you want. Wasn't it? But as the Undertaker, the dead man, I used to look at him like, why does he have a championship?
Right. Nah, but I could definitely see Leo becoming a champion though. Like I could definitely see.
I could see it. Just saying, if he doesn't have one, I wouldn't even be mad. I would get it in a way.
Right. No, that'd be funny. Although like they're already the trios champions, like the conglomerate. Like, what if somehow like they enlisted Leo to join them somehow?
Oh my god.
It'll be Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Leo as the trios champions.
It will work. It will work.
That definitely, but yeah. Your thoughts on MGF, his title run at this thus far?
I don't know. It's like I just know he's the champion. This is so he's a guy who him as a champion is never a bad thing. Once again, he's a guy, like I said, he has all those intangibles that's supposed to be a world champion. But it's like it gets to a point where it's not the same old shtick, but it's like, what are you doing? I feel like he's a guy that needs to be chased and not the guy who's always the one talking shit and calling people out and all that stuff like this. I just want him to be honestly almost a character of the heel he is, where he's a prick, but also like a little bit scary, like a little bit just like anytime somebody challenges him, he finds ways to get out of it, to make it a little more intriguing, to be more of a chase. That's the only biggest issue I have with AEW. As you say, like that about their writing, to where you have these random people fight for a world title or get a world title shot, like Rush and all that, like Roosh, I should say, and all that, which is great because they're great in-ring competitors. But when there's no actual story as far as a chase to it, it doesn't mean much to me because I kind of know what's going to happen. Like I need him to have that guy or guys who is chasing him, and he's doing everything possible for them not to win the title.
Like the dance partner.
Exactly, because every person needs, and all these wrestlers, you hear the greats talk about it, even if they truly didn't like somebody personally, they'll say all the time, but I needed that dance partner to elevate myself to that next level to where we make history.
Right.
So so it's like this, like I don't know who's his dance partner to where it's like they're about to make and shake the business or bring in all these thousands of people and all that stuff because they're just firing all cylinders. Like I don't know who that guy is for him right now.
Well, I can tell you one, and eventually it'll be Will Ospreay.
Well, Ospreay, obviously, but that's because I see that in the books for him.
Yeah,
since day one he got in there, Wembley's coming up and all that. That's evident, but it's like I don't know. It's like this. Is it the chase? Because like to me, it's not even like he's trying to chase the world title right now. He's just wrestling,
right? but it's like for him, they're kind of like on that Dragon Ball Z level right now. Like the only difference is that he's being trained by the Death Riders, and with the Death Riders building him up, like they're basically creating a machine.
Yeah.
And although like that match between him and Mark Davis on Wednesday, oh my god, that match was fire match. The only thing that pissed me off about the match was the fact that they had all those fucking outside interference
run-ins. It never fails.
Like, I'm like, come on, TK. Like everything don't need a run-in, bro. Like everything does not need the run-in. Like
that shows how much of a wrestling fan he is, though. He's following WWE book.
Honestly, I felt like that was an ECW move. Because ECW did run-ins like that. And then the match would still continue.
About to say that was like ECW did a damn near every match too. I guess that was their way of getting them.
They ain't doing every match, just the ones that was like the staple of the card. Like,
yeah, not every match, but it seemed like damn near every match there was some type of interference. It's
right,
like something stupid that didn't need to happen, but it was
right.
entertaining. So like, I
Now,
ain't
like, I like it. To be fair, like, it wasn't the worst thing that could, you mean, that had to happen, but it was just one of those things because to me, I feel like if you want the wrestling community to take the Owen Hart card, excuse me, the Owen Hart Cup tournament seriously, I feel like those type of matches should have minimum outside interference, just like how they treat the what's it the Continental Championship that Moxley had, that Moxley holds. Like, there's rarely any outside interference. In fact, any at all. Like, I don't think they have any because of the stipulations of the title. Like, I feel like that same respect for that title should also be the same respect for this respected tournament.
right. Yeah, I agree.
You know, but it was still good shit though.
Mhm.
Like, you know, like, I say what I say, but like, it was cool. But like, I ain't gonna lie, after a while, because of the host of run-ins that took place, and then for how long that the match still went on after the run-ins, I'm like, yo, like, could Mark Davis actually win this twice? Like, you know, beat Ospreay twice? Like, I thought it was getting ready to happen for a split moment, but then eventually Ospreay prevailed, and you know, he's moving on and advancing in the tournament. But yeah, nah, like, AEW, man. I need more people to watch it. I need many more people to invest in AEW because the product is good right now. Like,
I think they are. They getting around. So it just takes time. It just takes
yeah.
time. Especially because they had periods of some honestly shitty writing. So people probably was like they feel like the boom was over or the appeal was over. But now they got it back together. They're working things out. You know what I mean?
I feel like too. I feel like they spaced out as far as like the the timing for like the veterans and the timing for like those that are like that lower and mid tier cards. Like, you know, granted, like, you got a Jericho over there, you got your Edge, you got your Christian, you know, like, you got your, you know, your Bobby Lashley's, like, all these guys who like really have, you know, big names in the wrestling industry, but yet like you're still getting like your conglomerate guys over, like your Don Callis family guys over, like you're getting these guys who may not get, you know, get that shine, or, you know what I mean, on a regular basis over. And not I'll just say this, like, they kind of stayed to the course as far as like utilizing their locker room versus, you know, just signing everybody under the sun that was a WWE cast off. But, you know, disclaimer, I still hope that New Day, you know, someday sign with them. But you know, I think that would be a good space for them eventually, you know, if they were to do so, from a tag team sake. I mean, even for an individual sake too, depending on what titles they might want to go after. But like, yeah, there's just so much going on. And then like with the kid Kevin Knight, you know what I mean, just be like, oh wait, you ain't a fan of Kev?
I'm a fan of Kevin Knight, but join the Don Callis. That was the most predictable shit ever. Like, I saw it coming. Like, I really did. I'm not even joking. I knew he was joining them. I was like, yo, this is gonna be some NWO shit.
You know, it's crazy. As much as I watch pro wrestling, that was one I didn't expect to happen.
I saw it coming.
I mean, like the Hill Rule period. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it coming. When he turned heel,
yeah,
that's when I was like, oh yeah, he's joining Don Callis.
Right.
That's what I mean. I ain't see the Hill thing coming.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, okay. I was like, that was a curveball. I was like, all right, this is cool to see what happens. But then but as soon as it happened, I was like, I don't say I was 100% sure, but I was like 97% sure. I was like, he's probably gonna be with Don Callis and them, because it's very lazy writing. Like, just like, I'm sorry, it is. Just like, you're a Hill, you were Don Callis.
Come on over.
Don Callis having a ding dash moment freaking teeth falling out of his mouth and shit.
Oh gosh.
I was like, oh shit.
trying to duplicate him.
I was like, yo, he was like, the newest member. I was like, oh shit. I was like, why the camera people then take like y'all could have edited that part out.
Yeah, right. Right, look, it's going to the point you're gonna start doing it purposely.
Yeah.
But look, he did it again. He did it again. but one last say too, that we can start wrapping it up. But like even like with the women's roster, like it may not appear to be the strongest at this very moment, but I feel like there's a lot of upside that they have got going on their end. Like I even like, you know what I mean, Tekla, you know, being the women's champion, and I like the direction that they got her going, where she's like declaring war onto Stardom after, you know, having a career there in the past, but unfortunately being fired. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I don't know. It looks like they might be, you know, looking to pull off a stipulation of like a possibly like a war game style match at Forbidden Door when all the companies come together for that pay-per-view event. But I do want to say, like, don't sleep on Sky Blue, because for some reason I think, you know, she might be on the radar as far as maybe disassociating herself with you know, Tekla. I don't know if Julia Hart will follow suit, but yeah, I don't know the way she had her reaction after Tekla had talked to her last week, as far as her could potentially being in the running for the AEW Women's World Championship. So like, stay tuned. Like, yeah, she got something up her sleeve as well.
I mean, Sky Blue should be on everybody's radar. I just say it like that.
Respectfully, yes. Respectfully, yes. but yeah, so we got Forbidden Door coming up very soon, and then we also have All In, you know what I mean, following suit in August. So I think we're at the point where like we are going to see some storylines begin to tighten up with AEW, but like what they got going on right now, hell of a job. Like, you know, TK, you know, you're hitting that stride, you know, keep going. Like, keep going with it, man. Like, I don't know, maybe that's probably why I feel the way that I feel now with the world of pro wrestling today. Cause like, yeah, like, you know, like you said, you being a WWE homer, like, I mean, I, you know, grew up watching everything under the sun that's related to pro wrestling, but I don't know, it's just something about like the air that's in WWE right now, and it's, for how is it so totally different from AEW, and you're still not putting on the best quality of matches like AEW does.
Yeah, AEW, I told you, AEW firing all cylinders. They cook, and the freaking shout, even though they're associated with WWE, Undertaker might get Booker of the Year, bro, because
AAA, can't
cooking,
yeah,
he like cooking right now.
No, like, I agree.
You got a German guy is the most popular luchador in Mexico.
Right.
You can't make only a wrestler, bro. Only a pro wrestler.
Right. By the way, I mean, we already at an hour and 37 minutes, and how we not talk about the Max versus Max match? Like, that's probably one of my favorite matches of the year, if not the favorite.
That was an amazing match. Chad Gable deserves all the flowers in the world. That guy is just freaking amazing. We get it. Old school WWE people, he's short. He like our damn height. Like, I mean, like this. He like, he like my height. It's like this.
Shorty G.
Yeah, like this. Like, but the guy can go. He's amazing in the ring. He always knows how to play a decent character. Like, that dude, give him the flowers, give him some type of, like, he should be an Intercontinental Champion, if not, because like I said, the world title scenes are flooded right now, but he deserves a top mid-card title because he just deserves that recognition, because he's a workman. Like, they says a workman title, your workman title, give it to him. He's the epitome, the poster child of a work rate. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that guy's just too good, man. Like, WWE needs to truly finally see this. shout out to Ludwig, because him being a top luchador, it was not on my bingo card ever in life.
Right.
And the fact he's out there, I mean, this Mexican
That's,
crowd and fan base legit love him. Like, love him. Like, they
right.
see him, they're hugging him, going crazy, they're crying. I'm like, wow.
And and speaking fluent Spanish too.
Speaking fluent Spanish. Like, he speaks it, he sings it. I said, damn.
My question: Did he always know Spanish, or
He must have. There's no way he learned it that fast.
right? Because
To
he's
be that
very good at it.
He's very good. I'd be like, I've been married. My wife's Puerto Rican people, and I've been with her for 11 years. Ask me if I can speak Spanish well. I can speak it, but speak it well.
Not happening.
I forget she speaks it.
Oh snap!
When she starts talking, I'm like, oh yeah, you can speak Spanish, man.
Like, that was you. Say that.
I forgot. Yeah.
Crazy, man. Crazy. All right. We actually at the 1 hour and 40-minute mark. We definitely covered a lot across the board. There was one additional question. I'll throw this back out to y'all when we all get together again. Pertaining to Jacob Fatu. I mean, by the time it'll probably be over and done with by then. But no, it was after listening to Busted Open on, I forgot, it might have been Monday or Tuesday, and he said something on the lines of Jacob Fatu would never be what Roman is. And I'm like, damn, I was like, that's pretty harsh to say, but I get it. But like, damn.
I just say, bro, you were 2-time world champion TNA. You still weren't where a lot of these other world champions were either. Like,
right.
I think you were that guy. You were that guy in a very small pond. Let's be real. Mm-hmm. Like, this Bubba, that's what you best, one of the greatest tag teams that we ever seen. Like, if anybody got you on number one, I ain't arguing at all. I'm not.
Right.
But like, far as a singles competitor, like even in that organization, you were never above AJ. You weren't above Samoa Joe. Like this, you weren't above. You wasn't above Jeff Jarrett, like Sting, Kurt Angle. Like, you were never above any of those names. Like this. So what is your? How can you say somebody who's that talented, like this, like who has, like, he just never been on the platform as long as Roman, and was named, had the machine to be behind him. Like, Roman had the machine behind him for a very, very long time.
Right.
And he's acting like Roman was always Roman from day one. Like, no, he was very rejected for like the first 6 years.
Oh yeah.
Of his career in WWE. Like, the last 5 is when people finally start accepting him. Mm-hmm. He had to become heel, and I tell you that all the time, not taking it away from it. It took a goddamn pandemic for people to finally be like, all right, let's see where this goes.
And Paul Heyman.
Yeah, and Paul Heyman. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of pieces that made him who he is. It wasn't by himself. Like, because now he's really good on the mic, but Paul Heyman was the voice for him for a long, long time, and then he had to say that much. So just like Brock, when he did speak, it meant something.
Right.
So now he's more comfortable to where when he talks, it sounds like, yeah, I'm that guy, because now he is. But it's like, Jacob, come on, that man talked day one.
Right.
He ain't need nobody.
Yeah, I mean,
so like, I ain't saying I don't know if he could be to the heights of a Roman Reigns as far as popularity, but far as wrestling, just in-ring stuff and all it does, he definitely could be that guy. Like, he's just too good.
I agree with you on that.
He has such a realism and authenticity to him that the crowd would just, like, they will gravitate to him, as they already have.
Right.
You know what I mean? You just got to put him in that spotlight of a big moment, not just a Clash in Italy. I'm talking about WrestleMania, SummerSlam type thing of the main event. It's all on him and his dance partner. Let's see how this goes.
Mm-hmm. Nah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Definitely agree. You know, as you were talking, I was looking over my notes. I'm like, shit, I think I actually hit damn near every what caught my eye moment and that's listed in my notes. Actually, no, with the exception of one. And that was just in reference to a NXT women's division being stronger than the men's division. And that, you know what I mean?
Very simple. It is.
Yeah, pretty much the case. But no, I like the heat. You know off the heat that comes. You know what I mean from the fans. Like Kalani Jordan is receiving nowadays. Like I like where like that's like leading her into being a potential champion in the future. As well as Lola still holding it down between NXT and going to AAA. Like she's like really coming into her own nowadays, and Kendall Gray like she's definitely up next. Like
She's fire, bro.
yeah,
She's so good.
oh yeah,
She's so good. She's fire. I like her a lot. She's so good. And on a
yeah,
low, as I was not a fan of her for honestly day one, I wasn't. But I'm gonna give props to Nikita Lyons. Her personality, I can see why people gravitate to her.
yeah,
Like she's actually pretty funny,
yeah,
and like she's feeding into this thing of I'm just gonna play this over the top character of I'm a multimedia. I'm not just a wrestler. I do all this other stuff. That's why I am who I am. It's not about the wrestling, just the wrestling. These other things is why I think I'm the shit.
right.
So, and I respect that. She should have been that since day one.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So now I'm like, I'm not saying I'm feeling her on that level of she up next, but like I said, I gotta give credit where credit's due. She is starting to grow on me.
yeah, no, you're right. And you can see they're going in a little different direction with Jada Parker, you know what I mean, giving her the natty plate. Like, so like they're going in a different phase with her with that. Like, yeah, I'm still trying to like grow into this new phase of NXT. Like the women's side, it seemed easier to grasp quicker now than it is on the men's side. Like the men's side, there's still some work that needs to be done on it.
Yeah, because all their top stars, people who were like bringing in the eyes, they all left in one swoop.
Right.
I mean, Ricky Saints left. Freaking my man Joe Henry left. Was named in Ethan Page left. Like all those gone back to back to back. Trick left not too far before that. So like
shit, Oba,
like I said, Oba, they all left. So it was like the bigger names that was bringing in the eyes are now gone. So now you gotta start from scratch and hopefully build these other people. And you just like, we'll see what happens. And the women are firing. I think Jada for Natty, I think this is her, like, I ain't gonna say last hurrah, but like probably her final, one of her last tests to see if she's ready for the main roster, because I think they want her to go to the main roster, but they're like, we're gonna see how you do with this well-respected, well-tenured veteran in Natty. And if Natty gives us the thumbs up, then all right, you're off to the next stage.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, because sometimes people think you have to win some type of title in NXT before you go up to the main roster. And I was like, that's not true, because Bianca Belair is the full like post-out. She's never won the NXT Women's Championship.
Right.
Like that. Yeah, so it was her opportunities. I think she got like 2 different opportunities down there, maybe 3, and she lost each time. But then she goes to the main roster and she becomes one of the faces of the division and one of the longest reigning champions of this generation. So his name. So like, you don't have to be a champion in NXT for you to get called up and kill shit. So we'll see if Jada is going to be one of them ones when she makes it to the main roster. She got the persona down packed. She got that charisma, personality. I mean, she got the look that people like to see when she's out there. But like I said, still comes down to what you do between those ropes, man.
Right. Whenever that, that next time that call up should be like, I'm assuming maybe before after SummerSlam, possibly.
Possibly.
Like, but yeah, if she's not moved up by the end of the year, then I'm thinking like, yeah, they must there's something that's preventing her to to move up. But
Something's not clicking to where they're like, she's not getting it. Like if Lola gets called up before her, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, something's going on.
Right. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely agree. So, all right, Mr. Moyafit, any last items before we kick on out of here?
Nah, man, it's been a couple weeks since I've been up on here. We just, life be lifing, but everything's good. Wrestling's at an all-time high. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Undertaker for doing a great job. Triple A. Shout out to my GOAT, Shawn Michaels. More so AJ these days, but shout out to my GOAT, HBK, for killing it in NXT as he has been since he's basically been the main guy. AEW, probably number one in my opinion right now in the business. So wrestling's a good spot. And we'll see what TNA does because they got some big stars who contracts are coming up soon. So, I mean, we'll see what's up though. But right now, wrestling's in a good spot, man. Like, there's at times where, especially this time of the year, where it's usually like a lull, like a little WrestleMania, what I call a hangover, to where it kind of dies down. It's not that entertaining at all. But right now, it's actually been pretty decent. And that's because of other organizations. So, good job, y'all.
I agree with that. 100% agree with that. Damn, it was something I was getting ready to say. You had mentioned something when you talked about the you was talking about the what was it TN not T was it TNA?
What's that?
It was something I was about to bring up. I totally forgot it as you were talking.
About the stars contracts expiring.
Yeah, about the contracts expiring because I did see something about there was a someone that was granted their release today. It was Myla Rose. Like she requested her release and they granted for her. But no. Everything is good across the board, and we'll continue to see what happens. Just one programming, not necessarily programming note. Just mentioning, not for nothing, but GCW, they do got the Tournament of Survival that's going down this weekend, down in AC. I think that's going to be on both Saturday and Sunday. So check out GCW social media platforms if there's still tickets available for those events. And next week we do have MLW returning to Philly on both Friday and Saturday. So definitely be in the building for that. And trying to work on some things. See if anybody might want to pull up for next Thursday show going into next weekend's festivities. So more to come on that. Stay tuned for to our respective social media platforms for more details and developments if that does in fact take place. So all right, Mr. Moyafit, we are at 1 hour and 52 minutes. So we're gonna wrap it up right there. This was Still Steps, powered by All of It to Talk Sports Network. Mr. Moyafit Chris Wilson. I am Politic and Hawk, and there is Goldie making its triumphant return.
Back, baby.
We'll holler at everybody next Thursday. Till then, peace.